Welcome to Joan Funk, where we expose the lies your brain tells you about money. Today's harsh truth: stop chasing shiny objects. The boring path to real riches. Here's a fun fact. You won't get run over crossing the street if you don't look both ways. Statistically, it's safer to assume traffic will stop for you. But here's the kicker. You might actually die from the mild inconvenience of checking for cars. These stories hijack our emotions, blinding us to the boring grind. While you may never see it, it's steadily growing, unaffected by the latest news cycle. It's impossible. Volatility is the price of entry, not a penalty. Reality has a funny way of testing our theories, dealing us unexpected events that force us to adapt. Emotional resilience is your margin of safety, a buffer between you and the chaos. We measure our progress by years, but you must think in decades. Time is the ultimate wealth multiplier, more powerful than any get-rich-quick scheme. We obsess over maximizing returns because that's sexy, but we forget that staying rich requires a different skill set. Resilience instead of greed, acceptance instead of denial. Winning at investing isn't about beating the market, it's about beating yourself. We naturally gravitate towards pessimism because bad news grabs our attention. A falling market reinforces our worst fears, while slow, steady progress fades into the background noise. Saving isn't just about a down payment. It's about having a buffer between you and life's curveballs. It's not a burden, it's an insurance policy. On paper, we might have the perfect plan to beat the market, but that's the plan of a theoretical investor who doesn't exist. The real you will execute the plan, and you're prone to mistakes. The desire for more will lead you down dangerous paths, like that of Trevor Milton, a man so hungry for status that he risked his company, his reputation, and eventually his freedom, all for a bit of fleeting recognition. Because the market is unpredictable, you will change, and your financial plan needs to evolve with you. Ready to take charge of your financial future? Subscribe to stay updated. And remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Let's grow together. What's the biggest financial fear holding you back? Unleash it in the comments below. And don't forget to like and share. Until next time. This illustrates our relationship with money. Taking shortcuts feels right, but often leads to ruin. Most of us believe mastering spreadsheets and financial formulas will make us rich, but there's a giant flaw in this logic. Our minds are wired to blow up in our faces. We are emotional beings, trying to beat a financial world that operates on pure logic. From the very beginning, we experience life through our emotions. A baby's first bond with its mother is formed through touch, smell, and sound, not a logical cost-benefit analysis. Our brain processes emotions 60,000 times a day, shaping our decisions, even when we think we're in control. So when it comes to money, we're working with a distinct disadvantage. And if we're not careful, our brains will find a way to screw it all up. Both are right, but they're applying lessons from their own unique experiences. The problem arises when we ignore our emotional side and chase fictional characters. When Mark Olson, a brilliant engineer, lost his shirt following a friend's tip on meme stocks, he thought he was handling the markets. Luck played a role too, just like young Elon Musk, who grew up in Pretoria, a city with plenty of resources, including political instability and crime. Luck plays a part, but we tend to ignore it until it smacks us in the face. Take the case of most investors. They think they can handle the markets because they read a few books or followed a guru's advice. But ask yourself, what does handle the markets really mean? Does it include surviving a pandemic, a supply chain crisis, war in Europe, and record inflation? If not, how is your definition of handle different from that of a 3-year-old throwing a tantrum? In both cases, it's about control, or rather the illusion of control. Someone who barely made it through the dot-com crash will handle the market differently than a programmer who made a fortune in Bitcoin. We love compelling fictions like Crypto Millionaires, buying Lambos and Wall Street bad boys, making billions from nothing. True wealth is the unspent, the quiet assets quietly compounding in the background. We want investment gains without the stomach-churning volatility. But that's like wanting ice cream without the brain freeze. So here's the deal. Your grand plan will be shattered. So stop copying others, playing a different game. Define your own financial goals, timeline, and risk tolerance. Don't fall for the hype. Stay focused on your long-term vision.